Hello, this is Karinella from FashionStepByStep.com, and this video is from my course Watercolors for Fashion Illustration. And today you're going to see Basic Techniques 1. These are the 12 basic techniques that I'm going to teach you today, and I hope you like them and enjoy creating them. Materials. You will need, as always, your watercolor paper stretched and ready, your watercolors, your brushes, your mixing palette, and of course, water. Let's get started with the first technique. Flat wash. Alright, a flat wash should be a layer of color that is uniform and that is even. Start mixing the color or preparing the color that you want to use, and add it to the surface, stroke by stroke. Then, if you need to add or remove color, do it. As you can see, this is pretty simple and quick to do. Graded wash. A graded wash is a layer of color that is diluted and that looks lighter at the end. Take the color and add a couple of strokes, then add water to the brush and don't clean the brush yet. And create another stroke. Keep diluting the color by adding water and creating more strokes as you go. Now you can see the graded wash. Wet on wet. To work wet on wet, add water to the surface. Make sure all the surface has water, and then add water to the color mix that you have. And add color to the wet surface. You will see different patterns and how the watercolor flows over the wet paper. This kind of effect is pretty unique, and you can achieve it only with watercolors, which is why they are so great and special. Then you will see, when the paper and the color is dry, the final outcome. Dry on dry. Now we're going to achieve the opposite effect. First, remove the excess of water and color from the brush. You can use a paper towel and add the color to the dry surface. As you can see, the effect is very different from working wet on wet. And this technique is pretty useful when you want to create a furry surface or fabric. It acts pretty well as the animal's fur. Wet on dry. Now prepare your color and add water to the mix. Now add the color to the surface. As you can see, this is pretty similar to the flat wash we created on the first technique. And this is how it looks. Dry on wet. Now we're going to do the opposite. Add water to the surface. Make sure it is completely wet. Then remove the excess of water and color from your brush. Remember, you can use a paper towel. And add color to the wet surface. As you can see, the effect and the outcome is pretty different from the wet on wet, dry on dry, and wet on dry. Damp surface. Now again, add water to the surface, but this time let it dry a bit. And when the paper is damp, add the color. You know, when the paper is not completely dry but it's not wet either. Dropping water on dry color. Alright, so prepare your color and add it to the surface. You can create kind of a flat wash if you want, or a graded wash, whatever you want. Just make sure you color the surface completely. And once the color is dry, drop water on it. You can use a brush and drop water on the dry color. I'm creating tiny little circles and drops on the surface. Then wait until the water is dry and you will see that it lifts off the color. Dropping water on wet color. Let's do the same. Prepare your color and add it to the surface. You can do the same as with a flat wash. And while the color is still wet, drop water on it. Again, I'm using a brush. This is a brown brush. Now look at the difference between this and the last technique. Adding color to dry color. Alright, so prepare your color and add it to the surface. Again, I'm creating a flat wash with this pink color. And once the color is dry, add a new color over the first layer. I'm using this round brush to create navy blue lines all over the layer. And you can see they are crisp and clear. Adding color to wet color. I love working with opposite techniques, right? Okay, prepare your color and add it to the paper. I'm doing a flat wash again, but this time, instead of letting the color dry, I'm going to add another color while the first layer is still wet. And you can see, even though I use the same navy blue as with the last technique, the color looks lighter and it expands within the first layer. And now you can see the difference between this and the last technique. Bleeding. Prepare your color and add it to the surface. This time I am creating a circle, but you can create any shape you want. And while the color is still wet, create another shape or add another stroke inside the first one. And make sure both edges touch each other. Now you can see how the pink bleeds into the navy blue. And that's the bleeding technique. Great! I use all of these 12 basic techniques while I create my fashion illustrations, and you can too. So now it's your turn. Download today's materials. I have a printable template for you. Then grab your tools and practice with these techniques. Get some free and exclusive videos and lessons to get started with watercolors for fashion illustration. You just need to sign up by clicking the link in the description. See you on the other side. Bye bye.